Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul, and today we are coming together to say some nice things about ourselves. I want to say thank you very much to those people who share this stream. You guys are really making a difference in the world, and I appreciate you multiplying the impact that this message has. You guys are awesome and rock. So, this Monday, we are going to be working with my I Am deck. And this I Am deck right here, this thing is full of amazing positive affirmations. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to my friends Tammy and Josiah. They actually gave me this deck, this positive affirmation playing card deck. Thank you so much, guys. I opened it up and I love the affirmations inside, so I really do appreciate getting that gift. You guys are incredible. So this is season 2 of the Wake Up Call with Maui Paul, and we're working with the theme of the opposites. So one of the pieces of feedback that I got from the first season is that we don't always feel the way that we are affirming that we are. And so consequently, my goal with this season is to talk about the affirmation, the I am statement that we're going to go through, and then also work through the opposite of that statement. And so when I pull the card, I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on the card. You're going to respond, I am the affirmation on the card. You're going to say it out loud, say it proud, say it like you mean it, say it like you believe it, because the more that we say it, the more that we do. And then I'm going to ask you to write it down in the chat. So after that, I found that the folks who are in my chat really just go through and build each other up. So thank you for that. Thank you for engaging with each other. Thank you for affirming it to each other, because the more that we affirm it to each other, the more that we recognize it in ourselves. So let's begin by taking one off the top of the deck and saying that today I am mindful. I am mindful. I understand the impact my energy has on the world. So I am mindful. Are you mindful? You are mindful. You understand the energy that your impact has on the world. So I have written that in chat. I'd love to see you guys write that in chat as well. Write down that you are mindful. It is one thing to say it. It's one thing to listen to me say it. It's more powerful to say it yourself, and it is incredibly powerful to write it down. When we write it down, we have to take that thought, which is an ephemeral thing, a thing that doesn't have any substance at all, and then we have to move it through our fingers, and we need to create that substance in the world. And that's what we do when we're mindful. And being mindful just means being in the present moment. It means being here now and recognizing that the now that is beautiful, and that we have power and control in the now that is. We can do stuff. We can change things. We can make decisions. We can affect change now. We can't do it in the past. We can't do it if we're wallowing in our past mistakes or reveling in past glories. That's in the past. It's gone. And the fact is that science shows us that we misinterpret what was in the past anyways. They say that those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. But what is it that we learn from history except about how we are right now and how we're interpreting ourselves right now? And so we can't really have any power when we live in the future either. When we live in the future, when we're dreaming about the future, it's lovely to dream about the future, but ultimately that future comes because of our actions that are happening right now. We think about what we want, but then we move forward on the action steps to get it. And it is in our now moment that we have great power, and so therefore we are mindful of what we are doing right now. We're mindful of the actions that we're taking and how those actions have effect on the now that is becoming, because eventually we're going to have another now. We just had a now. Now we're having another one. There's another one. It just happened. We're always having these now moments, and we have this incredible power to do stuff within them and to effectuate change in our lives and in the lives of other people. We have the ability to build other people up now. We can't do it in the past. We can't do it in the future. And so I am mindful today, and you are mindful too, and we are mindful. But what is the opposite of mindful? And I would argue that the opposite of mindful is unaware. When we're doing things from a sense of unawareness, then we tend to start living life by default. Life starts happening to us instead of us being the captain of our own ship. We're just tossed on the waves of life, going one way or the other, and not really ever moving in a direction that we care about or want to move. We just sort of drift where life takes us. And of course, there's certainly a sense that when we're in this gigantic sea of life, that the currents of life will move us in places, but we still have to be intentional about keeping our ship upright. We still have to be very intentional about keeping ourselves pointed in the direction that we want to go. and putting forth the effort. And when the seas are against us, to put forth extra effort. And when the seas are for us, to just sort of coast and allow life to happen, not from our efforting, but from our deciding. So I feel like the opposite of being mindful is being unconscious of what's happening. And so I have a little story about that. Every morning I actually do some journaling. So I have a journal right here that I write in, and this is one of many journals that I've written in my life. And I hadn't been writing in it for the past couple of weeks. Like the month of October has been very, very busy for me. I've been so focused on doing the giveaways over here at the resort that I live at, and doing other like very major projects. And so I haven't been focused in that now moment. And I actually yesterday I opened up my journal to start writing, and I had this sense of fear, this sense of being afraid of what was going to come out of my hand when I put the pen to paper. And I had to examine that. And what I realized was that I hadn't been being mindful. I hadn't been being present. So this card is really for me today as much as it is for anybody else. I hadn't been being mindful. I'd allowed that practice to fall off. And because I'd allowed that to fall off, I had all kinds of brain spaghetti in my head that needed to come out. And I was afraid of what that would look like, even though I don't really read my journals after I write them. I sometimes read them, but after many, many years have passed, because there's not much that my thoughts today can teach me about today. My thoughts from today can teach me about last year. They can teach me about the years to come. But the exercise of journaling is really about being in this present moment and being mindful. And so today I recommit to myself to continue my journaling every single morning, and just do that for me. So I am mindful today, and you are mindful too. So let's go be mindful of who we are being and how we are being and how we are interacting with others today. And if you need a specific affirmation, I have these archived on my YouTube channel, which is linked in the video descriptions. You can go on over there and check those out, and they are organized much better. I actually have 2 seasons, as I mentioned. The first season of Maui Paul, the Wake Up Call with Maui Paul, is just me going through the card deck for the first time and learning what it means for me. And the second season is working with the theme of the opposite. So if you ever feel like one of these affirmations is something that is difficult for you to handle and deal with, this theme of the opposites helps us to understand how even the opposite of how we want to feel can help us and serve us in some way. So thank you guys so very much for coming by. Thank you for being a part of this Wake Up Call with Maui Paul. Thank you to those who like it and share it and subscribe and do all that stuff that tells the algorithm that this is a good message that is worthy of being spread worldwide. Aloha from paradise.